But if you look at the horizon line,
required to use one of those mechanical ones.
Overall, after a few lessons, I feel a lot more comfortable in the airplane. There's still just a ton going on at the same time that I'm still getting used to.
all right, Brittany. Well, we've completed the pre-flight. So today we'll get you comfortable with using your feet to steer the airplane.
Definitely need more practice than that.
I feel a lot better about being in the air. It's not as weird pulling things and seeing what happens. I'm a lot more used to if you turn the yoke, it's going to do this. If you use the foot pedals, it's going to do this. So Mark has me doing S-turns, which is basically when you head out towards a very straight road, and you follow for a bit and then you curve off. And the point is that you literally serpentine back and forth over some sort of landmark. So we use Route 340, which is heading out west towards Harpers Ferry. But basically you cross over and then you bank. And the goal is that you keep your bank pretty steady and you roll out exactly so you're flat over the highway.
Right now we've been doing some takeoff work, which is intimidating because, again, a lot going on. You have to have the right kind of foot pressure along with, you don't want to pull back too much and stall out.
Ready? Let's do it.
I think a nervous habit I have is I push a little too hard on the rudder, and so it kind of makes me veer off in the wrong direction, which isn't the best thing. Not really what you want during a takeoff.
Feet off the brakes, heels on the bottom. There you go. 1, 2, Mississippi.
3, Mississippi. 4, Mississippi.
And you're going to keep your right hand right there. There you go. Airspeed, everything's in the green. It's okay. We'll do it together. Feet off the brakes. Okay. Ready to go. Now you're going to push low right foot. And a little forward on the nose to keep that 70.
Bang.
Okay. Might be using a little bit too much rudder because look at the ball.
Oh yeah. I was going pretty hard.
Okay, you got it.
So now that we're a few lessons in, one of the things we've been really working on are the 4 fundamentals of flight, which is straight and level flight, turns, climbs, and descents. Some of them I'm having a harder time with than others. Climbing I actually didn't have too much trouble with once I actually got done with the takeoff. Straight and level flight, one of my problems I had, which I think is pretty common, is I kept looking at the instruments instead of looking out. Luz actually did a really funny test. She covered the instruments, she totally covered them, and she said, okay, turn to this heading and be at this altitude, and I did that, and she moved the paper away, and I was exactly where I was supposed to be.
So we've been going through ground school, which for us is a total of 8 weeks, 2 courses a week. And basically we're going through all of the stuff that you need to know that you don't get in practical application of flying. We've been doing, obviously, the different forces that play on the airplane when you fly, which you sort of only can experience in the air, but it's good to see the diagrams and how things work in different scenarios.
So one of the ththings that Luz got a kick out of is I asked her what the giant sombrero was. I know now it's the VOR, but at the time, there's a sombrero-looking structure right by the taxiway, and I had no idea what it was. It's funny because it really does look like one, and I'm still gonna call it that, but it really took a few lessons into ground school when they covered the VOR and what it's actually used for me to say, put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, that's what she was talking about. But hey, now I know.
So the great people at Sporty sent us this amazing package to get us through our flight training and ground school. It's a flight bag, which is a lot bigger than we expected it to be, I think, and it's the 2 knowledge books that we're using to get through ground school and our training, as well as the maps, and the flight calculator, which we totally thought was a real calculator at first, and the knee board. So there are a bunch of other cool things in there as well, but those are the ones that we've been using at the moment.
Sporty's has done a really good job of producing some manuals here and putting together a really comprehensive package of what pretty much all you're going to need for flying. It's not a substitute for ground school or anything. The ground school that you're learning is going to go through each one of these segments and areas of flying that would be necessary to take the private pilot check ride and to really learn to be a competent pilot.
Sporty sent us a ton of really awesome stuff.
Learn to fly course, interactive video training. Oh, there's an iPad app.
They sent us a really awesome flight bag that's so useful. They sent us all of the books we need. It was really awesome of them. We didn't have to get anything for ground school. They fully had us covered.